Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom named Agona, lived a very wealthy king. The king had everything but lacked children of his own. He had two beautiful wives, Aku and Isi. Aku, his first wife, was a very kind and humble queen, but his second wife, Isi, was jealous and wicked. She always tries to provoke Aku, but was never successful. The king began worried as the days passed, as he was not getting any younger. One day, he invited the chief priest to seek the counsel of the gods. The chief priest told him that there would be good news in a few days. After some days, Isi revealed that she was pregnant. This news made everyone in the palace happy, and the king showered Isi with lots of gifts and love. Aku was also happy for her, but Isi thought she was pretending and jealous of her. Isi began making life difficult for Aku. She made her do chores that were to be done by palace maids. She sometimes even mocks her as a hen which can lay eggs. She tormented her even at night by making her run errands for her with the excuse that she is feeling uncomfortable. The king always turns her blind eye whenever this happens, as Isi was carrying the child he has always been hoping for. His attitude always makes Aku sad and heartbroken, as she doesn't know what she did to deserve such treatment. Aku always cries at night and laments why the gods are unfair to her. One fateful day, the chief priest entered the palace and told the king that the gods have heard the cries of his first wife and that her wish shall be granted. Aku was happy that her wish was finally coming true and thanked the gods. The king was happy as well, since he would be having 2 children after being childless for years. When the news reached Isi, she was furious, but then remembered that she was still carrying the king's first child. As months passed, Isi always hoped for Aku to have a miscarriage, so that her child would be the only child of the king. She went to the extent of bribing some palace maids to carry out her evil deeds. She asked them to pour oil all over the work path Aku usually take. Fortunately, Aku didn't take that path that day, as she was not feeling well. After some months, Isi gave birth to a baby boy. She was happy, as her son is the first male child of the king, and by tradition, the heir to the throne. She named her son Kwesi. The news of finally having a heir made the king happy. A month after Kwesi's birth, Aku went into delivery and also gave birth to a son. Aku was very happy and named her child Kwame. The king was the happiest as he finally had 2 sons of his own. As years passed, the 2 princes grew up to be handsome men. Kwesi grew up to be very arrogant and rude, as his mother kept telling him that he was the future king and that it was beneath him to respect the common villagers. He was also wicked and bullies the villagers whenever he leaves the palace. His behavior made the villagers dislike him very much. Kwame grew up to be humble and kind just like his mother. His mother never fails to remind him that it's his duty as a prince to respect and love his people. Kwame became popular with the people in the village because of his character, unlike his brother Kwesi. The king is always happy and proud whenever he hears the villagers praise his son Kwame. He would then send gifts to Kwame and his mother as a form of encouragement. Whenever this happens, Kwesi is filled with envy and jealousy, as he feels that the king shows more attention to his younger brother than to him, who was the eldest son. Kwesi hates Kwame and Aku, as he believes all the lies his mother has been feeding him. Kwame loved his elder brother and never understood why he hated him and his mother so much. Esi hated the fact that Kwame had the attention and admiration of everyone. She felt that Kwame and his mother were after her son's throne. She felt threatened and decided to get rid of Kwame. The next day, Esi went to see a powerful witch living in the forest for a spell to end Kwame's life. The witch gave her a substance to use on Kwame's clothing. She warned her that the substance was very powerful and irreversible. Esi was happy upon hearing this, as she never wanted the spell to be reversed in the first place. One night, the king called Esi to his chambers to talk to her about their son Kwesi, as there had been a lot of complaints from the villagers about him, and it was becoming unbearable. Once this topic was brought up, Esi accused the king of being partial to Kwame. She told the king that there was nothing wrong with her son. She left the king's chambers in anger, but noticed there was a beautiful colored coat on the king's table. She became angrier, as she believed that this was a gift for Kwame as usual. She became even more desperate and sure of her plans to get rid of Kwame. She sent her maids to distract the king's guards so she could sneak into the king's chambers when he was not around. She succeeded in sneaking into the king's chambers and sprinkled the substance from the witch all over the beautiful colored coat and left with a satisfied expression. The king later came into his chambers and sent his guards to call his eldest son. The king advised his son to change his ways and stop listening to his mother's bad advice. Kwesi, like his mother, thought his father was being partial and did not take him seriously. The king was very disappointed. He gave the beautiful colored coat to his son and said, "My son, whenever you wear this coat, always remember your father's words and mend your ways." He was overjoyed and proud. He could not wait to show off to Kwame. So the next day, Kwesi stopped Kwame on his way out and sent his guard to fetch the coat. He told him about the coat and that he was their father's most favored son, and warned him not to think about taking the throne away from him. Once the guard came back with the coat, he ordered the guard arrogantly to help him wear the coat. As soon as Kwesi wore the coat, he started shaking all over and fell to the ground, with blood gushing out of his mouth and nose. Kwame immediately sent the guard to call for help. Esi, upon hearing the commotion in the palace, was happy. She ran to the scene to jubilate, only to be filled with shock upon seeing her son wearing the coat lying lifeless on the ground. Overwhelmed with pain and regret, she laid on the ground and started wailing, my son, what have I done?" She began confessing to all her deeds. Her confessions made everyone shocked. The king was angry and banished her from the village. It was later heard that she had run mad, as she could not accept the death of her son. Kwame was made the new heir to the throne and later became a wise king who led his kingdom to prosperity. The moral lessons from this story is: 1. Never let jealousy consume you. as the consequences must be unbearable. 2. What you sow is what you reap. 3. Do not oppress people just because you think you have the power to. I hope you enjoyed the story. Please like and subscribe to our channel. It helps this channel grow. I'll see you in our next story. Bye.